Please go ahead.
Thank you. My question is, there's a new GI Bill that's being proposed, and I was wondering what your opposition was to.
First of all, we need to increase the educational benefits for our veterans. We all know that the educational benefits have not kept up with the costs of education in America. And so we're going to have to dramatically increase it. There's some people in this room that recall and know that the GI Bill following World War II probably was one of the most beneficial programs, not only for the veterans who took advantage of it, but also for America, because we educated an entire generation of Americans. I want two things to happen. One is that once a person has remained in the military for a period of time, then that person can transfer those educational benefits to a spouse or family member. Because, as you know, a lot of military people, most of them now, have families. And they want to educate their children, and their spouses may seek education. So we want to have it at a point where they can transfer those benefits to family members and to their children. The other thing is, I think that my fellow veterans would agree, the great strength of America military is not so much in our officer corps, of which we are proud. But the great strength of American military is our non-commissioned officer, our chief petty officers, our sergeants. They're the ones that are one of the leaders and the ones that do the sacrificing. And I say with all due respect to the officer corps, but it's the non-commissioned officer that almost makes the British military and the American military unique in the world, because they're the true leadership and backbone. So I want to increase those educational benefits as the members of the military stay in and remain in the military, so we will maintain this core of vital leadership. And right now, the legislation has no incentive to do so. You get the same benefits after like 3 years as you do after 12 years or more. I respect Senator Webb a great deal. He is a combat veteran and a person who has sacrificed a lot for our country. I believe we can sit down together and give transferability of these educational benefits and also increase retention of these let's be very clear, it's very expensive these days to train a member of the military with the equipment and the technology that we have to train them in so that we can keep more people in. There's a study that shows that retention would drop by 16% if we didn't put incentives for people to remain in the military. I want to work on it. I've offered to sit down with Senator Webb and others, and there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to work this out. And I hope that you will support our position on both transferability of educational benefits as well as incentives to retain people in the military so they'll make a career out of a very honorable profession.